What up, all my fight fans? So, the return of Jon Jones is this Saturday, and it's been actually bringing up a lot of old topics and a lot of things that people have been talking about that we haven't really got a chance to talk about as of late because Jon Jones has been gone for 3 years. Last fight was against Dominic Reyes 3 years ago, back in February. So it made a lot of people ask some of these questions, such as, has Jon Jones slowed down? We look at his fights in his earlier days against Shogun, Machida, Rampage, Vitor Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Daniel Cormier. He pretty much just ran over these guys. He really, really ran over these guys. He made these guys look, no disrespect, but just not even the same level, not even the same league. And these are all really great fighters. These are Hall of Famers. These are legends of the game. These are guys who have been in the damn octagon for God knows how long, since the beginning of time. Some of these guys have been fighting way, way longer than Jon Jones, but Jon Jones just made them look very, very amateurish. That's how great Jon Jones had been at light heavyweight in his earlier days. But as time went on, as things started to go at a different rate, and fighters started like maybe figuring out Jon Jones's game plan, and the fighter size had been a different factor as well. As if you look at, Jon Jones has always been relatively taller than his opponents, but then when you look at some of his opponents that he actually faced, those ones gave him more difficult times. I mentioned Machida, Shogun, even Rashad Evans, Vitor Belfort, Rampage. Those guys were all relatively smaller than Jon Jones. But when he went against guys and later in his career, guys like Gustafsson, guys like Thiago Santos, guys like Dominic Reyes, like Alex Smith, like even OSP, those guys gave him a little bit of trouble. But was it because of the size, or was it because Jon Jones was starting to fade just a little bit? Was the downside just a little bit happening? It could be very well possibly, because the game evolves so much. People start learning, people start developing new techniques, people start coming up with different game plans and different things that they can do in the octagon that they weren't doing just a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. So did the game catch up with Jon Jones a little bit? Yeah, maybe a little bit, because you look at his last three performances. One was unanimous decision against Alex Smith. The other one was a split decision to Thiago Santos, which a lot of people felt like Thiago won that fight. They actually had some people. And if you really look into that fight, Thiago Santos had 2 blown out knees. The guy was hurt. The guy was injured. He pretty much was out for like at least a year or two or something to that nature. And Dominic Reyes. And a lot of people feel like Dominic Reyes won that fight. I honestly feel like it did. I saw that fight. I really feel like Dominic Reyes edged that victory out. They gave it to Jon Jones. It is what it is. But I personally feel like Dominic Reyes won that fight. But it just shows you. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, maybe Jon Jones's fire at light heavyweight wasn't the same anymore. And that could be possible. Sure. Or it could be also the fact that, yes, times were catching up to Jon Jones just a little bit. People were starting to develop new skills. The fighters were starting to change, because Jon Jones has been around for a long time. He beat the older generation, he beat the present generation, and he beat the next generation. So you got to give him credit whatsoever. He is by far probably the best light heavyweight of all time. Of course, outside the PAD use, we could get into that later, but still one of the best of light heavyweight of all time. So is his skills and did his talent, and he still is very talented, very skillful, 100%, but did it fade just a little bit? I feel like it did just a little bit. I think Father Time started slowly catching up to him. His reflexes and his timing started slowing down just a little bit, where he wasn't as quick, where he really wasn't reacting to a lot of these shots, or pretty much being able to counter some of these shots like he used to. So slowly but surely it happened. He's still one hell of a great fighter, 100%, still by far one of the smartest fighters of all time, 100%. But is it fading just a little bit? Yes. Now, with the fading possibly and 3 years layoff, that could play a big factor in this Ciryl Gane fight. So we definitely got to watch out for that, guys. But let me know in the comments of what you think. Do you think Jon Jones is started fading just a little bit down the line as he got into those other fights with Alex Smith, with Thiago Santos, and with Dominic Reyes? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.